Hello friends, today's topic is antibiotics. Here we will discuss about definition about antibiotics, different classification of the antibiotics and what is resistance to antibiotics. First, what is an antibiotic? They are the substances derived from a microorganism or produced synthetically that destroys or limits the growth of a living organism. So, antibiotics are the substances which are derived from microorganisms or they are produced synthetically which help to either destroy or limit the growth of a particular living organism. So, what are the ideal qualities of an antibiotic? First, kill or inhibit the growth of pathogens. So, an ideal antibiotic must have the ability to either kill or inhibit the growth of pathogens, and they should not cause any damage to the host and should not cause any allergic reaction in the host, and they should be stable when stored in liquid or solid form and remain in specific tissues in the body long enough to be effective and kill the pathogens before they mutate and become resistant to it. So, an antibiotic are substances which are derived from microorganisms or produced synthetically which help to destroy or limit the growth of living or other living organism or pathogens. An ideal antibiotic must kill or inhibit the growth of pathogens without causing any damage to the host and also without causing any allergic reaction in the host. Besides this, they should be stable when stored in liquid or solid form for further use and remain in specific tissues when they are introduced in the body and long enough to be effective. And they should kill the pathogens before these pathogens will mutate and become resistant to that particular antibiotic. While studying about the antibiotics, we must be familiar with the two terms, that is the minimal inhibitory concentration or MIC and minimal bactericidal concentration or MBC. First, we will see what is this minimal inhibitory concentration or MIC. They are the minimum amount of a drug required to inhibit the growth of bacteria in vitro, and it is the lowest concentration of an antimicrobial drug that will inhibit the visible growth of a microorganism after overnight incubation. MICs can be determined on plates of solid growth media or growth dilution methods. So, minimal inhibitory concentration is the minimum amount of a drug or an antibiotics which are required to inhibit the growth of a bacteria under lab conditions. They can be determined on plates of solid growth medium or growth dilution methods. We can see the change in the growth of the organisms visibly in the lab conditions. On the other side, what is this minimal bactericidal concentration? Minimal bactericidal concentration or MBC is the minimum amount of a drug required to kill the bacteria in lab conditions. MBC testing can be a good and relatively inexpensive tool to simultaneously evaluate the multiple antimicrobial agents for potency. So, minimal inhibitory concentration is the minimum amount of an antibiotic required to inhibit the growth of bacteria in lab conditions, whereas the minimal bactericidal concentration is the minimum amount of an antibiotic required to kill a particular bacteria under lab conditions. Now, going to the classification of the antibiotics, antibiotics can be classified on the basis of their different characters. First, we will see about the classification of the antibiotic based on their source of production. The natural antibiotics are the antibiotics which are produced by the microorganism. Examples are fungal antibiotics like penicillin, griseofulvin, bacteria like polymyxin, bacitracin, actinomyces producing tetracycline, chloramphenicol, and streptomycin. On the other hand, synthetic antibiotics are the antibiotics synthesized artificially in the lab. Next is the classification of the antibiotics according to their antimicrobial activity. First one is the bactericidal antibiotics. Example is the cephalosporin. So bactericidal antibiotics are the antibiotics which help to kill the bacteria. And example is the cephalosporin. Whereas bacteriostatic antibiotics are the antibiotics which prevent the further multiplication or growth of a bacteria. They will not kill the bacteria. Example is the chloramphenicol. According to the bacterial spectrum of antibiotic spectrum of activity, antibiotics are classified as the narrow spectrum antibiotic. Here the drugs that act on one kind or one strain of bacteria. Example is the isoniazid. So the narrow spectrum antibiotics are the antibiotics which are effective against only one kind or one strain of bacteria. Example is the isoniazid, whereas the broad spectrum antibiotics are the antibiotics which have a wide antimicrobial scope or wide antimicrobial range. Example are the tetracycline and chloramphenicol. Next is the classification of the antibiotics according to their absorbability from the site of administration. They are of two types, that is a locally acting antibiotics which will be active only at the place of application, whereas the systemic antibiotics which have wide range of application. And according to the mechanism of action, first one is those which inhibit the bacterial cell wall synthesis. Examples are the penicillin and cephalosporin. We know that the bacterial and fungal cells have rigid cell wall, and inhibiting this cell wall synthesis will lead to the damage of the cell. And antibiotics like the penicillin and the cephalosporin contains a beta-lactam ring which attaches to the enzymes that cross-link the peptidoglycan, and by interfering this cross-linking they will prevent the cell wall synthesis. First one is by the inhibiting the synthesis of the bacterial cell wall, and examples of such antibiotics are the penicillin and cephalosporin. Next is the inhibition of the cell membrane function, and example is the polymyxin. Here they will distort the bacterial cell membrane by binding to the phospholipids present in the bacterial cell membrane. Next is the action as the anti-metabolites. Examples are the sulfonamides and the nitrofuran. Metabolites are essential for the normal cell growth and survival, and anti-metabolites are substances that affect the utilization of the metabolites and prevents the normal metabolic reactions. So by producing anti-metabolites also, antibiotics have ability to destroy the microbial growth. And next method is by the inhibition of the protein synthesis. Examples of such antibiotics are the aminoglycosides, tetracycline and chloramphenicol. They will help to inhibit their ribosomes. And next is the inhibition of the nucleic acid synthesis. Examples are the rifampicin and the quinolones. They will help to inhibit the DNA or RNA. That's all about the classification of the antibiotics. And next, what is the side effects? What are the kinds of side effects of an antibiotic? For the other toxicity, allergy, disruption of the normal microflora. Sometimes some antibiotic will be toxic to the host, whereas sometimes some antibiotics will allergic to the host, and sometimes they will disrupt the normal microflora of the host. So these are the three side effects of antibiotics in host. So it can be either toxic, allergic, or they will either disrupt the normal microflora of the host. Then we'll see what is the resistance of the microorganisms to these antibiotics. Resistance means that a microorganism formerly susceptible is no longer affected by the same antibiotic. Microorganisms generally acquire antibiotic resistance by genetic changes, but sometimes by the non-genetic mechanism. So resistance is that a microorganism which was formerly susceptible to a particular antibiotic will no longer be affected by that antibiotic. It can be either due to the occurrence of the antibiotic resistance by genetic changes or sometimes by the non-genetic mechanisms. Now, what are the mechanism of the resistance? First one is the alteration of target, alteration of the membrane permeability, development of an enzyme, alteration of an enzyme, or alteration of a metabolic pathway. Next, the methods used to determine the sensitivity to antibiotics. First one is the diffusion method, dilution method, serum killing power, and automated methods. And what are the characters of an ideal antibiotic? They should be soluble in the body fluid, should not have any toxicity. That is, they should be selectively toxic and non-allergic, and it should be stable in its action, and it should have long shelf life, and it must be low cost. Besides the antibacterial antibiotics, there are some antifungal agents like imidazole and triazole, antiviral agents, purine and pyrimidine analogues, antiprotozoan agents like quinine and metronidazole. So that's all about antibiotics. Thank you.